Howard. Hello, everyone. Hello. This is Faye, and I sell Medicare plans, and I'm usually very strong with that opening, and I realize that even though you may be listening on your phones, you may be listening on your laptops, but let me just tell you why I'm so excited today. Today, I have with me Howard Peck. Howard is in Pennsylvania. He's about an hour away from Philadelphia, and I don't know very much about that market, but Howard has been very successful in doing Medicare educational seminars. This is a topic that I see many people most recently are asking about. It's also a topic that a lot of people just call and ask me personal questions. I have clients who are interested in doing educational seminars. So I thought, what better way to have you understand the ins and outs of educational seminars and what it means to a Medicare business than to talk to someone who is an expert in educational seminars. Welcome, Howard.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you. I'm glad that you could spare just a little bit of time. I understand that you're going on vacation soon, aren't you?
Yes, on Saturday morning. I get away from the cold. There's still snow on the ground here and ice on the ground, so we're going to go down to Florida for a little bit.
Oh, okay. We're in Florida. Are you going to Central Florida?
We're going to Southern Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
West Palm Beach.
All right. So you'll have some sun. I'm in Central Florida, which of course is sunny, but down further south, you get more sun because you're closer to the equator. So you'll really thaw out when you get
What we're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. Much
I
needed.
know you're happy to get away from all that snow and ice and cold. So listen, Howard, how did you get started doing educational seminars?
Well, so I got into the insurance business when I was 50 years old. It's a second career for me. I recently turned 65. I know I look much younger than 65, but
yes, you do.
And so here I am, second career, and I started and I identified the insurance industry as the career that I wanted to get into, because as a second career, I didn't want to, as a business person, I didn't want to invest in real estate, like warehouses, if I wanted a business of distributing a product or opening up a restaurant and buying equipment and all this overhead. Well, not at 50 years old. So I identified the insurance industry as something that I can get into with minimal cost. And the way I was running the numbers and the conversations that I had with people, it did a good job and found the niche that they performed well in, you can make a nice living. So I identified the insurance business. And at first I hooked up with a local agency selling group health insurance. And that didn't go too well. A lot of appointments, a lot of people, when an HR person starts looking for insurance, well, they're going to talk to you, they're going to talk to that one, going to talk to that one. So I wasn't used to a lot of rejection from my prior business career. It just didn't seem like it was for me. And then I identified long-term care insurance as something that I related to. It looked like, again, the numbers worked for me. And I went to Mutual of Omaha headquarters in Omaha, which is an amazing place, an amazing company. And because the FMO that I was contracting with, Mutual of Omaha, was their main carrier. So they sent a bunch of us out there for training. Well, they happened to send us out there on the week where the stock market crashed in 2008.
Oh.
So that's when, if you remember, the mortgage securities and everything just crashed. And so I came back from training, really excited, really knowledgeable, but I was selling an expensive product, not a must-buy product, a little bit of a luxury product at a time where there's a lot of economic turmoil in the country. And so things are moving very slow. So again, I was kind of back to the drawing board. I kept hearing about Medicare. And at that point, again, I was about 50. I didn't know the difference between Medicare or Medicaid. I didn't even know what it was. I know my parents were on Medicare, but I was so far away from that, I never learned about it. But then I started looking into it as an insurance aspect to maybe give it some thought. And that's what I did. And I found a small agency that was willing to train me. And I started selling Medicare plans. And I really liked it, except that the agency that I was with, they would give me some internet leads. Most of them, because I was the new guy in town, they were the leads that other agents worked over, didn't get anywhere, handed them back in, and they gave them to me. I made some sales and trying to find, join the Chamber of Commerce on my own, trying to develop some lead sources. And I identified Medicare as being something I definitely wanted to do. And I decided to leave the agency, and I just started trying to market myself. And I had a chance encounter with an old friend of mine who happened to have been in the financial advising business. He was a financial advisor to help people with their retirement. I told him what I did. He told me what he did, and he said that his main way of marketing is holding dinner seminars. And we've all received invitations, you know, you come to the restaurant and learn about how to save money on taxes, retirement plans, and all that. He says, I want you to do a 10-minute overview on Medicare. I'll identify you as somebody who works close with our advisory group. And that's a feather in my cap to have a Medicare expert on one hand, and it'll be a feather in your cap because maybe I can generate some leads for you.
That was very generous.
Yeah, it was generous, but again, he benefited a little bit, showing that he had a more of a full service operation. So first seminar, I get up, and there were so many questions after my little basic Medicare 101 that my 10 minutes turned into 25 minutes, much to the chagrin of my friend, but people kept raising their hands. So the light bulb went off in me, and I started investigating Medicare educational seminars. And I started doing them myself. And at this point, I would like to define what a Medicare educational seminar is, because there's two types of seminars. There's a Medicare educational seminar, and there's a Medicare sales seminar. And CMS is very on top of the differences of the seminars and the requirements of the seminars. So a Medicare sales seminar is when you mostly talk about Medicare Advantage plans. You can talk about the premiums, the co-pays, the doctor and hospital networks, give all the details, but you have to have that seminar approved by CMS and your FMO. So there's a chain of approval that you have to get. Plus you can sell plans at these seminars as well. That's not what I do. Medicare educational seminars, which is his own little niche, allows me to get in front of people, give them a Medicare 101. I can't talk about premiums. I can't talk about co-pays. I can't talk about doctor networks, which is perfectly fine, because at that stage, people are just coming out to learn. They don't even want all those details. They just want to see how the puzzle pieces fit together. So I scheduled my first seminar, did a little advertising, put up some flyers around town. I live in a small town, so it was easy to navigate through the small town. And sure enough, I got 17 RSVPs, and 23 people showed up.
Oh, wow. That's good for the first time.
Yes. And so from that first seminar, I got a call the next day, the next week, the next month, and I saw this is what people need, because it's a neutral space. There's no selling. And I make that clear in all my advertisements for the seminars, that there's no selling. This is just to learn about Medicare. And people really not only appreciate that, but they need it, because they're coming into Medicare now. How does it all fit together? They get 27 pieces of mail every month. They
Mm-hmm.
see all these commercials, but how does it, A and B and supplements, advantage, drug plans, how does it all fit together? And this, what I found is that the seminars is the perfect neutral space to gather people, allow me to introduce who I am and what I do. And so that's how I got involved originally in seminars, from a chance encounter with an old friend.
That's excellent. What a story. That's good, but you're absolutely right. People are confused. There are so many people who are working and they believe in their heads because, as an example, they may be paying $200 a month when they add the deductions from their paycheck for their employer group plans. So in their minds, they're thinking, oh, when I get 65, I'm going to have Medicare, and then I can save that $200. And a lot of people I've found, and maybe you found this too, they believe once they get that red, white, and blue card, that's it. And
Oh,
it
sure.
really takes some explanation. So now, doing the educational seminars, do you find that most of the people that come are within 3 months, 6 months, a year? How far out are they from Medicare?
Well, that's a very good question, because I'll give you that answer, but I'm going to give you also the benefits of that of that answer. I have folks come to the seminar that sometimes are a year out. I mean, they know that decision is coming. They have their retirement date in focus, and they know they have to go on Medicare, and they see an advertisement for my seminar, even though maybe they're just 64 recently. They thought they would come out for the evening and listen to someone talk about Medicare. Some people are ready to go on Medicare in a month or 3 months or 6 months. So it really spans all possibilities as far as who comes to the seminars. But here's the good thing about that. And I didn't know until I got started doing this. And it's the gift of gifts. Because people come to the seminars and they're at a different stage when they are planning to go on Medicare, that one a month, 3 months, 6 months, et cetera, as I just noted, a natural pipeline of leads develop. And you start getting calls from that seminar over the next year, perhaps, of people that were at your seminar. And wow, it just keeps, now that's just from one seminar. I do about, on average, about 2 a month. So all these pipelines, a natural pipeline of leads at different times starts coming in the door. And it's amazing, because someone called, I was at your seminar, Howard, 6 months ago. You remember me? I was in the front row. I don't remember. But
Of course you say, yes, I remember
yeah,
you.
but so now they're ready to go on Medicare. They need some guidance to enroll in Part A and B, or whatever the guidance they need. So that was a lead from 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so your question was, who comes to these seminars? And really, it's a large swath of people in regards to their time for Medicare, which is results in that natural pipeline that keeps giving.
That's wonderful. So you mentioned in the evenings, do you do all of your educational meetings in the evening?
Almost entirely, 7 p.m., 7 to 8. Usually doesn't last more than an hour unless there's a tremendous amount of questions, but usually it's 7 to 8. Sometimes I do what I call private seminars, and that's when I get invited by an assisted living facility, or another financial advisor hears about, says, would you mind coming in to talk to some of my folks this Thursday at 2:00 work? That's when I usually have my little lunch and learns or something like that. So, but if I do it myself, it's usually in the evening at 7:00. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's worked very well for you
Yeah.
over this span of time. Obviously, it was something that you found that was needed. You transitioned very well from group employer benefits to long-term care to Medicare. You actually found a niche where there is a need. But the good thing about this, Howard, is you found a way to help people in that niche, to really help them to understand. I do a lot of educational meetings and generally don't do them as frequently as you do. So that might be why I'm not seeing the continued success that you have. But I've heard of others who do educational meetings. Do you do them always at the same place?
Oh, no, I do them at different places because I don't want people to drive too far. So I'll go into different neighborhoods and different counties even. And but I usually do them an hour radius from my house, which spans a big distance. So,
Mm,
um, but once I find the venues in the different areas, I usually go back to those same venues. So I go to libraries. In my local town here, there's a breakfast and lunch spot, and she lets me have the place for an evening seminar. I pay her for it, of course. She serves
mhm.
cookies and cookies and coffee, but she's open for breakfast and lunch. And now here I come and hold an evening seminar. She likes that because the people that come get a chance to see her restaurant. So,
Ah,
but I go to hotel meeting rooms. Public libraries are a great place. So different areas, different
mhm.
venues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you have taken this one step further, and that's why I am so happy that I was able to meet you. You've taken this a step further, and you've actually put everything that you've done and how to do it into a book.
Yes.
And the book is The Golden Ticket.
Yes. The golden ticket, building a strong and successful insurance practice with Medicare educational seminars. That's my book there. And I sell it on a website, just simply, the website is medicaregoldenticket.com.
Okay. So now that book, can you tell us a little bit about what, because this book would not be the educational piece for the beneficiaries, but would be the educational piece for the professionals.
Correct. It's well, I go into a little background, talk about the positive aspects for the producers, for the agents, why Medicare seminars work and why they're really good for the beneficiaries. So there's some background, and then I get into the logistics. Well, what kind of venue to select, your PowerPoint presentation, how to create it and what to do, your registration table, what kind of snacks to offer. I don't do dinner seminars. I just want to make that clear.
Okay,
I'm going
so
to
even though it's 7 p.m., you're not offering dinner.
no dinner. I'm going to come back to that point in a second.
Okay.
So I talk about refreshments a little bit, what kind of handouts to give away. And then for the agent that might be doing these, how do you manage the leads? Uh,
Mm.
do you call people after the seminar? Do you send letters? We have to be careful as Medicare brokers and agents who to call and how we call and all that. So I talk a little bit about public speaking. Some people have a fear about it, so I give some tips about that. So the book is all about step by step for the broker, for the agent, how to get into Medicare educational seminars. But coming back to food, which is an interesting so my friend, that the first seminar I did was a big dinner seminar. Oh my goodness. They make a big presentation. There's hors d'oeuvres when you walk in. He makes his presentation, then they serve dinner, and him and his staff walk around the tables to talk and introduce themselves and see if they can set appointments. So it's I wouldn't say aggressive marketing, but it's very assertive marketing. And it costs a lot of money too to
I was
provide,
thinking
right?
that. I
Provide,
just thinking that must be an expensive
yeah,
marketing
sure.
strategy
Yeah,
too.
they go to restaurants with private meeting rooms or a hotel that have private meeting rooms, and they provide dinner. Sometimes there's 15, 20, 35 people there. But what I have found in regards to food, people are so in need of clear Medicare education that they do not care about the food. They're coming. They come with their books. They come with their Medicare new book, their notes, information that they received in the mail. They have questions, whether there's cookies or coffee or snacks or pretzels, secondary. You just have to be there and provide a good presentation, and all those extra costs like dinner or something fancy, not needed. They're not coming for that. Remember what Medicare is. Medicare is a must. You have to go on it once you leave your employer plan. And then the supplement or the Medicare Advantage is a must. I don't know about you, but I've no people that want to go just with Part A and B and not have any supplemental coverage.
Only if they were uneducated and didn't know.
Exactly. So it's almost most everybody we meet, it's a must-buy product. So the seminars are relatively simple and the snacks are simple. My expenses are low. And that's just one of the beauties of Medicare educational seminars. People want information and I'm there to give it to them. It doesn't have to be a fancy affair.
And just from the way that you've answered my questions, I can tell that you give people the straight upfront answers. You don't try to beat around the bush or, hide information. You seem as if you would be the person, no matter what question comes up, you would give them just the straightforward answer. And that's what people are looking for, right?
That's what they're looking for in this situation, because I'm sure
Absolutely.
they probably have met people, I'll call them flim-flam people, right? They just want to make a fast sale or the over-the-phone sales. I mean, goodness, to buy a supplement or a Medicare Advantage over the phone without having somebody there to show you. I don't know, do you sell over the phone? Maybe I'm insulting you by saying
No,
that.
but because of
Okay.
COVID, I have. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
it's,
well, yeah.
but I try basically with the ones that I do on the phone to always make it a Zoom or a Google Meet so that we're actually looking at each other. And I have either emailed or mailed them the documents before our meeting.
Yeah, good, right, sure. So people like clear information, like you were saying. And I don't, in my book, I describe what I do after the seminar. I don't call anybody. First of all, we're really not allowed to call people.
You're not supposed to.
Right?
And actually, you're only supposed to give your business card if they ask for it. There are some ways of getting around that. And I'm sure you tell in your book how you put things out on the table. That's a part of the whole thing. But you obviously have done this enough so that you would say you're doing it compliantly, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't want to get into any problems with CMS. No, because, the background is that if you lose your license, the commissions stop.
Yes.
The commissions stop because the carriers only pay commissions to licensed agents. And
Absolutely.
if you screw up and they take away your license, all the commissions stop. So I don't want the commissions to stop.
Absolutely.
And I wouldn't do anything to mess with CMS compliance. And you can make a very good living and hold these seminars and do really well and help people totally in compliance with CMS. There's no reason to have to, no reason to cross the line. There's no reason to even get close to that line.
Right.
Yeah.
So now there are so many various ways for an insurance professional to actually sell or offer Medicare products. This is definitely one of the ways that works, because think about it. These are the things that the carriers do, right? The carriers actually hold, and they will do mass mailings, and it's probably not as personable as yours.
And a big difference, if I could interrupt, Faye, because it's important. When you go to a carrier seminar, they'll give you a little bit of Medicare 101, a little background, but they are there to sell their product.
Absolutely. Even though they don't actually come out and say it, they'll come with the pre-canned video from the corporate office. And it really does not go into the detail or the depth of the detail that I'm sure that you do with your seminars. Howard, tell us more about how we as insurance professionals can get that book so that we can start right away to plan.
If anybody wants the book, it's at MedicareGoldenTicket.com. MedicareGoldenTicket.com.
Okay, and you will find it in the comments for those of you who are listening to this podcast. MedicareGoldenTickets.com.
Correct.
Howard has put
Golden
together.
ticket. That's singular. Golden
Oh,
ticket.
no S.
Right.
Okay, I'm glad you told me. MedicareGoldenTicket.com
Correct.
by Howard Peck. Howard has put together everything that he does from start to finish, giving you all the tools that you will need to actually do this successfully. And if you do your first educational seminar and you don't have 27 people to show up, or 20, was it 27 or 23, Howard?
It was 17 RSVPs, 23 attendees for the
23
first one.
attendees. If you don't have 23 attendees, don't give up.
Yes, thank you. Don't give up.
Do not give up.
Yeah.
Thank
Here's
you.
what's interesting. Here's what's interesting. Let's say you hold a seminar, you do a little bit of marketing, a little bit of advertising, and maybe there's not a lot of people. Let's say you get 9 people, but out of those 9 people, maybe you sold 2 supplements or 2 Medicare Advantage plans. If you look at what those commissions are based on how much time you put in, it's still a very good deal for the broker.
Really, it is.
I mean, if you think about a supplement commission here in Pennsylvania, most carriers pay us for 6 years. The Medicare Advantage plans pay us for the life of the policy. So even if I sell just 1 or 2 or 3 supplements,
Right.
And one other thing, when you hold yourself up as a Medicare professional that does public Medicare educational seminars, there's almost a different sort of respect that you get within your community and with the people that are at the seminars. They might get calls, they might meet other brokers, but here you are, a seminar leader that's offering free information. You're out there answering questions, and it takes on a different flavor. And because of that, which is one of the most important things about this business, referrals happen.
Yes. Yes.
Now, referrals happen usually in this type of business, but when Joe tells Tom that he was at this seminar last week and the guy was really good, here's his card. Wow, a little different.
Yes.
And speaking of my card, right on the front of it, you probably can't see it. It has all the different things I sell, Advantage, supplements, etc. But it says right on there, Medicare educational seminars is one of the things I do.
Yes.
So, and then on the back of the card has a little picture of me explaining my Medicare educational seminar. So I treat it as an integral part of my business, and people see it as that, develops a little bit more trust and confidence, more sales, more referrals.
Thank you so, so much. And every piece of information you've shared is a treasured nugget. Thank you so, so much. Is there anything, any last point or any tip that you want to leave with our audience at all?
Yes, if I could just take a minute. Selling Medicare plans is a very noble profession. We're selling it to people that are getting older. Health is taking on new importance, and you're there to help them make sure they get the right coverage. So this isn't, you're more than just an insurance agent trying to sell some product. You really are a trusted advisor. People count on you. Referrals will develop. And if you're not sure if you want to sell Medicare or life insurance, or if you're doing 3 or 4 different things, if you could specialize in this niche and really commit to it, it could be a wonderful career until you're ready to retire.
Thank you so much, Howard. And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Okay.
Everybody remember, the name of the book is Golden Ticket, and the website is MedicareGoldenTicket.com by Howard Peck.
Yep.
Thank you so